Diyos ug makagagahom nga Amahan, salamat sa mga grasya nga among nadawat, labi na sa gasa sa kinabuhi. Hinaot unta nga kami hatagan sa gasa sa pagsabot ug mahayagan ang among hunahuna ug among gilauman, ikaw magahatag kanamo sa proteksyon. Sa mga magtutudlo, magapadayon ang ilang kinasing-kasing nga pag-alagad. Una kami sa kalipay, aron mulambo ang tinuod na gugma ug kaluoy sa matag adlaw. Ining tanan among gilauman, sa ngalan ni Jesus, Amen. Bayang magiliw, perlas sa silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisiin, sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bukaw. May dilagang tula at awit sa paglayo minamahal, ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning. Ang bituin at araw niyang kailan pa may di magdidilim. Lupa ng araw nang luwalhati pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya ng pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
The Department of Education, Division of TANGKUB City, in partnership with the local government unit of TANGKUB, presents ang TANGKUB, transforming advancement in the new normal, guiding K-12 learners under broadcast media, a TV-based instructional program crafted in response to the need of making education possible and accessible to students at the comfort of their homes. It covers the most essential competencies thematically layered in drama plays, which were originally written, directed, and performed by teachers to see to it that education is securely provided. This is ang TANGKUB.
It's TANGKUB, TANGKUB, TANGKUB time. We learn all things, it's very fun, masaya. Tugtog na.
Kumusta mga bata? Sa dili pa nato sugdan ang atong pagtulunan karong adlaw, ato sang balikan ang ato nang nakatunan. Atong nakatunan ang letrang T nga adunay tingog nga T. Karon mga bata, paminawa ang kanta mahitungod sa letrang T.
Magbasa na kita sa Sa dakong letrang T, basahon ta siya. Magbasa na kita sa gamayng letrang T, basahon ta siya. Sama sa trianggulo, tabanog, tatlo o tulo. Di sama sa transportasyon, TV, tansan o tilon. Tilon! Magbasa na kita sa dakong letrang T, basahon ta siya. Basahon ta siya.
Mga bata, usba paglitok ang letrang T. Sakto! Mga bata, usba paglitok ang tingog sa letrang T. Maayo! Karon mga bata, ato nang sugdan ang atong pagtulunan karong adlaw. Kini mahitungod sa letrang E. Andama og paklia ang inyong self-learning materials, page 15. Diha inyong makita ang letrang E. Karon mga bata, tan-awa ang akong baba ug paminawa kung unsaon ang saktong paglitok sa letrang E. E. Akong usbon mga bata. E. Karon mga bata, tudloa ang unang linya ug magdungan kita sa paglitok sa dakong letrang E. E. Atong usbon mga bata. E. Balikon ta mga bata. E. Usbon ta sa makausa mga bata. E. Karon mga bata, tudloa ang ikaduhang linya ug ilitok ang dakong letrang E. Usba paglitok mga bata. Balika pa mga bata. Usba pa sa makausa mga bata. Sakto! Karon mga bata, tudloa ang ikatulong linya ug magdungan kita sa paglitok sa gamay nga letrang E. E. Atong usbon mga bata. E. Balikon ta mga bata. E. Usbon ta sa makausa mga bata. E. Karon mga bata, tudloa ang ikaupat nga linya ug ilitok ang gamay nga letrang E. Usba paglitok mga bata. Balika pa mga bata. Usba pa sa makausa mga bata. Sakto! Karon mga bata, tanawa ang posisyon sa baba sa hulagway nga inyong makita tapad sa letrang E. Paminawa og sunduga ko kung unsaon ang saktong paglitok sa tingog sa letrang E. Akong usbon mga bata. Karon mga bata, tudloa ang unang linya ug magdungan kita sa paglitok sa tingog sa dakong letrang E. Atong usbon mga bata. Balikon ta mga bata. Atong usbon makausa mga bata. Karon, tudloa pagbalik ang unang linya ug ilitok ang tingog sa dakong letrang E. Usban ninyo paglitok mga bata. Balika pa mga bata. Usba pa sa makausa mga bata. Maayo! Karon mga bata, tudloa ang ikaduhang linya ug ilitok ang tingog sa dakong letrang E. Usba pa mga bata. Balika pa mga bata. Usba pa sa makausa mga bata. Sakto! Karon mga bata, tudloa ang ikatulong linya ug magdungan kita sa paglitok sa tingog sa gamay nga letrang E. Atong usbon mga bata. Balikon ta mga bata. Atong usbon makausa mga bata. Karon mga bata, tudloa pagbalik ang ikatulong linya ug ilitok ang tingog sa gamay nga letrang E. Usban ninyo paglitok mga bata. Balika pa mga bata. Usba pa sa makausa mga bata. Maayo! Karon, tudloa ang ikaupat nga linya ug ilitok ang tingog sa gamay nga letrang E. Usban ninyo mga bata. Balika pa mga bata. Usba pa sa makausa mga bata. Sakto! Karon mga bata, paklia ang page 15 sa inyong activity sheets ug sunda ang putol-putol nga linya aron makasulat kamo sa letrang E. Karon mga bata, samtang nagsulat kamo sa inyong activity sheets, paminawa ang kanta mahitungod sa letrang E.
Magbasa na kita sa dakong letrang E. Basahon ta siya. Magbasa na kita sa gamayng letrang E. basahon ta siya. Isama sa estudyante, eraser, exam o eclipse. Isama sa El Salvador, Egypt, England, Ecuador. Magbasa na kita sa dakong letrang E, basahon ta siya. Basahon ta siya.
Karon mga bata, samtang nagsulat kamo sa inyong activity sheets, paminawa ko kung unsaon nako pagbasa ang mga ngalan sa hulagway nga makita sa ubos sa inyong self-learning materials. Ang unang hulagway mao ang elepante. Elepante. Ang ikaduhang hulagway mao ang X. X. Ang ikatulo nga hulagway nagpakita sa eroplano. Eroplano. Hangtod sa sunod nga higayon mga bata. Daghang salamat. Enjoy!
Dali na mag-science na kita, mag-observe o mag-discover ta, living things o non-living things, mga stars o mga planeta. Dali na mag-science na kita, mag-observe o mag-discover ta, living things o non-living things, mga stars o mga planeta, mga stars o mga planeta, mga stars o mga planeta.
Hello mga bata! Kumusta kayo sa araw na ito? Ako si Teacher Popoy. Sa araw na ito, ating sisimulan ang ating panibagong leksyon sa Filipino. Mga bata, basahin natin ang mga pangalan ng mga larawan na nagsisimula sa titik B. Ang titik B ay may tunog na B. Ngayon, kilalanin at babasahin natin ang mga pangalan na nasa larawan. Basahin natin ang pangalan ng bata, baso, bahay, bangka, baka, baboy, bulaklak, buko. Ngayon, basahin ninyo ang mga salita na makikita sa screen. Simulan na ninyo mga bata. Kung ang salita ay binasa ninyo na bata, tama mga bata. Kung ang salita ay binasa ninyo na baso, magaling mga bata. Kung ang salita ay binasa ninyo na bahay, magaling mga bata. Kung ang salita ay binasa ninyo na bangka, tama mga bata. Kung ang salita ay binasa ninyo na baka, magaling mga bata. Kung ang salita ay binasa ninyo na baboy, magaling mga bata. Kung ang salita ay binasa ninyo na bulaklak, tama mga bata. Kung ang salita ay binasa ninyo na buko, magaling mga bata. Ngayon mga bata, basahin naman natin ang mga parirala na may mga salitang nagsisimula sa titik B. Basahin natin ang mga parirala na makikita sa screen. Halimbawa mga bata, ang bata. Simulan na ninyo mga bata. Kung ang parirala ay binasa ninyo na ang bahay, magaling! Kung ang parirala ay binasa ninyo na ang baka, tama! Kung ang parirala ay binasa ninyo na ang buko, magaling! Kung ang parirala ay binasa ninyo na ang baso, tama mga bata! Kung ang parirala ay binasa ninyo na ang bangka, magaling mga bata! Kung ang parirala ay binasa ninyo na ang baboy, tama mga bata! Kung ang parirala ay binasa ninyo na ang bulaklak, magaling mga bata! Ngayon mga bata, basahin na ninyo ang mga parirala na inyong makikita sa screen. Simulan na ninyo mga bata! Ngayon, babasahin ko ulit isa-isa ang mga parirala at alamin ninyo kung wasto ba ang inyong pagbasa sa mga parirala. Ang bata at ang baso. Ang bahay at ang bangka. Ang baka at ang baboy. Ang buko at ang bulaklak. Mga bata, basahin na natin ang mga pangungusap na makikita sa screen. Simulan na ninyo mga bata. Kung ang pangungusap ay binasa ninyo na ang bata ay malusog, tama! Kung ang pangungusap ay binasa ninyo na ang bahay ay malinis, magaling! Kung ang pangungusap ay binasa ninyo na may tubig ang baso, tama! Kung ang pangungusap ay binasa ninyo na may bangka sa tubig, magaling! Kung ang pangungusap ay binasa ninyo na mabango ang bulaklak, tama! Ngayon mga bata, basahin na natin ang isang tula na inyong makikita sa screen na pinamagatang Bata. Simulan na ninyo mga bata! Ngayon mga bata, babasahin ko ang tula at alamin ninyo kung tama ba ang inyong pagbasa sa tula. Bata. May dalawang bata, maliit at malaki. Isang babae at isang lalaki. Kahit hindi sila pareho kalaki, masaya silang naglalaro palagi. Dahil sila ay mga batang mabait at mabuti. Kung ang tula ay binasa ninyo katulad ng aking pagbasa, magaling! Para sa inyong unang gawain, mga bata, tingnan ang ibabang bahagi ng tula na inyong binasa at sagutin ang mga tanong na inyong makikita. At para naman sa inyong ikalawang gawain, mga bata, buksan ang ika-79 na pahina ng inyong Module B. At para naman sa inyong takdang aralin, mga bata, gayahin at isulat ang titik B sa kursibong pagsulat nito. Hanggang sa muli mga bata, sana'y may natutunan kayo sa araw na ito. Enjoy!
addition, subtraction ug ang division. Problema dali ra sulbaron, kay ang mati ay sayo. Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayo. Sa duha tulo, upat lima unom, ang mati ay sayo. Ang mati ay sayo. Ang mati ay sayo. Sa Filipino, natuto tayo mabigas magsalita sa sariling wika. Tula at kwento sa sariling bansa, tayo na mag-aral na tayo. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, N, O, P, R, S, T, Q, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Ha, 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 hi, 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 Sa Filipino, matuto tayo mabigas magsalita sa sariling wika. Tula at kwento sa sariling bansa, tayo na mag-aral na tayo. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, N, O, P, R, S, T, Q, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Ha, 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 hi, 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 Ha, 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 hi, 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 Ha, 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 hi, hi, hi,
Kumusta mga bata? Welcome sa atong klase sa kindergarten, dinhi sa telebisyon o sa radyo. Mga bata, aduna na usab kitay bag-o nga leksyon karong adlaw. Andam na ba kamo magkat-on mga bata? Ali na, magkat-on na ta! Kagahapon, atong nakat-unan ang bahin sa linyang pahirig patuo o right slant line. Karong buntaga, magkat-on kita kung unsaon pagsulat sa pahirig pawala nga linya o left slant line, pinaagi sa pagsubay sa mga putol-putol nga linya. Mga bata, tan-awa ko ninyo kung unsaon ang paghimo sa linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Mga bata, tan-awa ko, magsulat ko sa hangin gamit ang akong tudlo. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Akong usbon mga bata. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Balik ko nako mga bata. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Karon mga bata, tan-awa kini nga hulagway sa putol-putol nga linya.
Ako kining sumpayon gamit ang lapis aron makaporma og linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Tan-awa mga bata. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Akong usbon mga bata. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Akong usbon sa makausa mga bata. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Ikaron mga bata, magtumanaw sa kita pagsumpay sa mga putol-putol nga linya aron makaporma kita o linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Gamit ang inyong practice sheet sa og lapis. Nasabtan mga bata?
Yes, teacher!
Okay, magsugod na. Waan na yung lapis mga bata. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Okay, maayo mga bata. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Kini silver slant line. Karon mga bata, kamo na usab ang maghimo sa pagsubay sa mga putol-putol nga linya aron makasulat o makaporma sa linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Tan-awa ang inyong practice worksheet mga bata. Anaa diha ang sinulat nga putol-putol nga linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Sige mga bata, gamit ang imong lapis, subaya ka na aron maporma ang linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Sige, sugdi na! Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Nasubay na ninyo mga bata? Kung inyo nang nasubay, maayo! Karon mga bata, atong nakatunan ang pagsulat sa linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Pinaagi sa pagsubay sa mga putol-putol nga linya. Karong higayuna, oras na para ipahanas pa nato ang atong nakatunan. Pinaagi sa pagbuhat sa mga buluhaton na hinatag sa inyong mga magtutudlo. Mao kini ang una ninyong buhaton. Subaya ang putol-putol nga linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Sunda ang arrow sa pagsubay niini. Akong usbon mga bata. Subaya ang mga putol-putol nga linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Sunda ang arrow sa pagsubay niini. Akong usbon sa makausa mga bata. Subaya ang putol-putol nga linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Sunda ang arrow sa pagsubay niini. Alang sa dugang pagkaton, kopyaha ang mga tulid nga linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Akong usbon mga bata, kopyaha ang mga tulid nga linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Akong usbon sa makausa mga bata, kopyaha ang mga tulid nga linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Ug dinhi natapos ang atong leksyon karong adlaw. Hangtod sa sunod higayon, daghang salamat mga bata. Bye-bye.
This is the way we speak. This is the way we read. This is the way we write. This is the English way. This is the way we speak. This is the way we read. This is the way we write. This is the English way. Come and learn to speak and write of the language of the world. Learn to understand the language of the world. This is the way we speak. This is the way we read. This is the way we write. This is the English way. This is the way we write. This is the English way. Alamin ang teknolohiya sa agrikultura at pangkabuhayan upang umunlad ang ating bayan sagana sa likas na yaman. Halika na mag-ipipina, ipipina, ipipina. Halika na, mag-aral na. Alamin ang teknolohiya sa agrikultura at pangkabuhayan upang umunlad ang ating bayan sagana sa likas na yaman. Halika na mag-ipipina, ipipina, ipipina. Halika na, mag-aral na. Ipipina, 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 ipipina.
Kumusta mga bata? Welcome sa atong klase sa kindergarten, dinhi sa telebisyon o sa radyo. Mga bata, aduna na usab kitay bag-o nga leksyon karong adlaw. Andam na ba kamo magkat-on mga bata? Ali na, magkat-on na ta. Kagahapon, atong nakat-unan ang bahin sa linyang pahirig patuo o right slant line. Karong buntaga, magkat-on kita kung unsaon pagsulat sa pahirig pawala nga linya o left slant line pinaagi sa pagsubay sa mga putol-putol nga linya. Mga bata, tan-awa ko ninyo kung unsaon akong paghimo sa linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Mga bata, tan-awa ko, magsulat ko sa hangin gamit ang akong tudlo. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Akong usbon mga bata. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Balikon ako mga bata. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Karon mga bata, tan-awa kini nga hulagway sa putol-putol nga linya. Ako kining sumpayon gamit ang lapis aron makaporma og linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Tan-awa mga bata. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Akong usbon mga bata. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Akong usbon sa makausa mga bata. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Karon mga bata, magtumanaw sa kita pagsumpay sa mga putol-putol na linya aron makaporma kita o linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Gamit ang inyong practice sheet sa og lapis. Nasabtan mga bata?
Yes, teacher!
Okay, magsugod na. Waan na yung lapis mga bata. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Okay, maayo mga bata. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Kini silver slant line. Karon mga bata, kamo na usab ang maghimo sa pagsubay sa mga putol-putol nga linya aron makasulat o makaporma sa linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Tan-awa ang inyong practice worksheet mga bata. Anaa diha ang sinulat nga putol-putol nga linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Sige mga bata, gamit ang imong lapis, subaya ka na aron maporma ang linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Sige, sugdi na! Gikan sa taas, padulong sa ubos. Nasubay na ninyo mga bata? Kung inyo nang nasubay, maayo! Karon mga bata, atong nakatunan ang pagsulat sa linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Pinaagi sa pagsubay sa mga putol-putol nga linya. Karong higayuna, oras na para ipahanas pa nato ang atong nakatunan. Pinaagi sa pagbuhat sa mga buluhaton na hinatag sa inyong mga magtutudlo. Mao kini ang una ninyong buhaton. Subaya ang putol-putol nga linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Sunda ang arrow sa pagsubay ni ini. Akong usbon mga bata. Subaya ang mga putol-putol nga linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Sunda ang aro sa pagsubay ni ini. Akong usbon sa makausa mga bata. Subaya ang putol-putol nga linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Sunda ang aro sa pagsubay ni ini. Alang sa dugang pagkaton, kopyaha ang mga tulid nga linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Akong usbon mga bata. Kopyaha ang mga tulid nga linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Akong usbon sa makausa mga bata. Kopyaha ang mga tulid nga linyang pahirig pawala o left slant line. Ug dinhi natapos ang atong leksyon karong adlaw. Hangtod sa sunod higayon, daghang salamat mga bata. Bye-bye.
Tanggub City, simply home. Tanggub City, simply home. This is our place, Tanggub City. There is so much you can see. A paradise from nature's best. It's a beauty among the rest. Rich in culture and history, it has a colorful festivity. One people in harmony, one people in great revelry. Tanggub City is proudly celebrating milestones and beyond. A never-ending celebration, a joy for everyone. Come and join us, let's all have fun. It's a legacy that we have done. A bright future of our city is at hand. Tanggub City, simply home. 25 years of cultural fame, endless beauty in silver years. Magical symbols every Christmas, people dance in all festivals. Golden years of prosperity, we are proud of this great city. One people, one destiny. Tanggub City is a place to be. Tanggub City is proudly celebrating milestones and beyond. A never-ending celebration, a joy for everyone. Come and join us, let's all have fun. It's a legacy that we have done. A brighter future of our city is at hand. Gearing for progress and development, people remain focused to their commitment. Preserving the tradition of good values into Tanggub City, simply call our home. Tanggub City is proudly celebrating milestones and beyond. A never-ending celebration, a joy for everyone. Come and join us, let's all have fun. It's a legacy that we have done. A brighter future of our city is at hand. Brighter future, Tanggub City, simply home. Tanggub City, simply home. Tanggub
Kahit marami ay magtutulungan. Ihanda na ang pisara, upuan at mga mesa. Ang pag-aaral ay simulan na. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina, sa school magsama-sama. Abutin ang mga pangarap, mayaman man o mahirap. Edukasyon ay para sa lahat. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina at magkakaisa. Maghawak ng kamay, sumigaw ng sabay-sabay. Isang tinig tungo sa tagumpay.
Kahit maraming problema, chill ka lang, don't stop sa pag-eskwela. Kabataan, pag-asa ng ating bayan. Ikaw, ako, tayong lahat ay magtutulungan. Ihanda na ang pisara, upuan at mga mesa. Ang pag-aaral ay simulan na. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina, sa school magsama-sama. Abutin ng mga pangarap, mayaman man o mahirap. Edukasyon ay para sa lahat. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina at magkakaisa. Maghawak ng kamay, sumigaw ng sabay-sabay. Isang tinig tungo sa tagumpay. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina, sa school magsama-sama. Abutin ng mga pangarap, mayaman man o mahirap. Edukasyon ay para sa lahat. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina at magkakaisa. Maghawak ng kamay, sumigaw ng sabay-sabay. Isang tinig tungo sa tagumpay. Halina.
Edukasyon sa pagpapakatao ang kailangan.
Atong pagabalikon pagtuon ang color. Sa ganito nga color atong gitunan kagahapon. Color pink. Very good. So karong adlaw, atong ibalik lantaw ang color pink. Maminaw og tarong mga bata kay unyang taod-taod, aduna na usab kamoy lain pa nga ansiran sa balay. Sige, subda na nato. Okay niya mga butang, yung color pink. Atong tagsa-tagsa. Unsa ka na? Usa ka? Bag. Unsay color sa bag? Color pink. So unsa ka na? Pink nga bag. Ikaw Dobby? Pink nga bag. Very good. Kana, unsa na? Correct. Dress or sanina. Unsay color sa sanina? Color pink. So unsa ka na? Pink nga sanina. Correct. Kana mga bata, unsa na? Unsa ka? Lipstick. Unsay color sa lipstick? Color pink. So unsa ka na? Pink nga lipstick. Very good. Kana, unsa na? Usa ka baboy. Unsay color sa baboy? Color pink. So unsa ka na mga bata? Pink nga baboy. Ikaw Dobby? Pink nga baboy. Kana, unsa na? Wow, usa ka gwapa kayo nga laso. Or sa English, ribbon. Unsa na? Laso. Unsay color sa laso? Color pink. So unsa ka na? Pink nga laso. Correct. Una, unsa ka na? Correct. Usa ka donut. Unsay color sa donut? Color pink. Very good. So unsa ka na mga bata? Pink nga donut. Very good. Kana, unsa na? Suoto nato na. Correct. Usa ka tsinelas or mga tsinelas. Unsay color sa mga tsinelas? Color pink. Very good. Unsa ka na mga bata? Pink nga mga tsinelas. Kana, unsa man kana? Very good. Balloon. Unsay color sa balloon? Color pink. Very good. Unsa ka na? Pink nga balloon. Kana mga bata, unsa man kana? Correct. Crayon or Crayola. Unsay color sa Crayola? Pink. So unsa ka na? Pink nga Crayola. Very good. Mao ka na ang mga butang nga color pink. Unsay color ana? Color pink. Ikaw Dobby? Pink. Ikaw Dobby? Pink. Very good. Mga bata, it's activity time. Ang inyong buhaton, andama ang lapis o pink nga crayon. Subaya ang mga putol-putol nga mga linya aron mapurma ang hulagway. Koloran kini gamit ang pink nga crayon. Aduna kamoy makita, lantawan ninyo ang inyong worksheet. Aduna kamoy makita nga hulagway nga cupcake. Koloran ninyo kini og pink nga crayon. Karon ang ikaduha niyong buhaton mga bata, koloran ang mga hulagway gamit ng Crayola nga pink. Aduk na kamoy makita nga mga hulagway. Ang una ninyong makita mao ang flamingo. Koloran ninyo nag-pink. Sama usab sa baboy, candy or dulce, meat or karne ug bulak. Koloran ninyo kini og color Pink. Nakuha ba mga bata? Very good kayo! So karong adlaw, inyong nakatunan ang color pink. Daghang salamat mga bata ug magkita-kita na usab kita sa sunod sa malipayong pagkaton. Bye-bye! Bye-bye, goodbye. Bye-bye, bye-bye, goodbye. Goodbye!
Mapina, mag-aral na sa ating kultura. Mga sariling musika, may art sa PE pa. Okay, saya, sayang kumanta. Halika na, humanda na dahil mapina. Umawit at gumuhit-guhit. Mag-exercise, pampalakas. O kay saya ng buhay estudyante, lalo na kung tayo'y mapina. Mag-aral na sa ating kultura. Mga sariling musika, may arts at PE pa. Okay, saya, sayang kumanta. Halika na, humanda na dahil mapina. Umawit at gumuhit-guhit. Mag-exercise, pampalakas. O kay saya ng buhay estudyante, lalo na kung tayo'y mapina. Dali na mag-science na kita, mag-observe o mag-discover ta. Living things o non-living things, mga stars o mga planeta. Dali na mag-science na kita, mag-observe o mag-discover ta. Living things o non-living things, mga stars o mga planeta. Mga stars o mga planeta. Mga stars o mga planeta.
Hello mga bata! Karon ang ikaupat nga adlaw sa atong simana. Ug karong adlaw, atong pagabalikon pagtuon ang color. Sa ganito nga color atong gitunan kagahapon, color pink. Very good. So karong adlaw, atong ibalik lantaw ang color pink. Maminaw utaro mga bata kay unyang taod-taod, aduna na usab kamoy lain pa nga ansiran sa balay. Sige, sugda na nato. Okay niya mga
butang yung color pink. Atong tagsa-tagsa. Unsa ka na? Usa ka? Bag. Unsay color sa bag? Color? Pink. So, unsa ka na? Pink nga bag. Ikaw, Dabi? Pink nga bag. Very good. Kana, unsa na? Correct. Dress or sanina. Unsay color sa sanina? Color? Pink. So, unsa ka na? Pink nga sanina. Correct. Kana mga bata, unsa na? Unsa ka? Lipstick. Unsay color sa lipstick? Color? Pink. So, unsa ka na? Pink nga lipstick. Very good. Kana, unsa na? Usa ka baboy. Unsay color sa baboy? Color? Pink. So, unsa ka na mga bata? Pink nga baboy. Ikaw, Dabi? Pink nga baboy. Kana, unsa na? Wow, usa ka gwapa kayo nga laso. Or sa English, ribbon. Unsa na? Laso. Unsay color sa laso? Color? Pink. So, unsa ka na? Pink nga laso. Correct. Una, unsa ka na? Correct. Usa ka donut. Unsay color sa donut? Color? Pink. Very good. So, unsa ka na mga bata? Pink nga donut. Very good. Kana, unsa na? Suoto nato na. Correct. Unsa ka tsinelas or mga tsinelas. Unsay color sa mga tsinelas? Color? Pink. Very good. Unsa ka na mga bata? Pink nga mga tsinelas. Kana, unsa man kana? Very good. Balloon. Unsay color sa balloon? Color? Pink. Very good. Unsa ka na? Pink nga balloon. Kana mga bata, unsa man kana? Correct. Crayon or Crayola. Unsay color sa Crayola? Pink. So, unsa ka na? Pink nga Crayola. Very good. Mao ka na ang mga butang nga color pink. Unsay color ana? Color pink. Ikaw, Dabi? Pink. Ikaw, Dabi? Pink. Very good. Mga bata, it's activity time. Ang inyong buhaton, andama ang lapis o pink nga crayon. Subaya ang mga putol-putol nga mga linya aron mapurma ang hulagway. Koloran kini gamit ang pink nga crayon. Aduna kamoy makita, lantawan ninyo ang inyong worksheet. Aduna kamoy makita nga hulagway nga cupcake. Koloran ninyo kini og pink nga crayon. Karon ang ikaduha niyong buhaton mga bata, koloran ang mga hulagway gamit ng Crayola nga pink. Aduk na kamoy makita nga mga hulagway. Ang una ninyong makita mao ang flamingo. Koloran ninyo nag-pink. Sama usab sa baboy, candy or dulce, meat or carne ug bulak. Koloran ninyo kini og color pink. Nakuha ba mga bata? Very good kayo. So karong adlaw, inyong nakatunan ang color pink. Daghang salamat mga bata ug magkita-kita na usab kita sa sunod sa malipayong pagkaton. Bye-bye! Bye-bye, goodbye. Bye-bye, bye-bye, goodbye. Goodbye!
likas na yaman. Halika na, mag-ipipina, ipipina, ipipina. Halika na, mag-aral na. Gawin ang teknolohiya sa agrikultura at pangkabuhayan upang umunlad ang ating bayan, sagana sa likas na yaman. Halika na, mag-ipipina, ipipina, ipipina. Halika na, mag-aral na. Ipipina, 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 ipipina.
Kahit maraming problema, chill ka lang, don't stop sa pag-eskwela. Kabataan, pag-asa ng ating bayan. Ikaw, ako, tayong lahat ay magtutulungan. Ihanda na ang pisara, upuan at mga mesa. Ang pag-aaral ay simulan na. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina, sa school magsama-sama. Abutin ang mga pangarap, mayaman man o mahirap. Edukasyon ay para sa lahat. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina at magkakaisa. Maghawak ng kamay, sumigaw ng sabay-sabay. Isang tinig tungo sa tagumpay.
Kahit maraming problema, chill ka lang, don't stop sa pag-eskwela. Kabataan, pag-asa ng ating bayan. Ikaw, ako, tayong lahat ay magtutulungan. Ihanda na ang pisara, upuan at mga mesa. Ang pag-aaral ay simulan na. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina, sa school magsama-sama. Abutin ng mga pangarap, mayaman man o mahirap. Edukasyon ay para sa lahat. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina at magkakaisa. Maghawak ng kamay, sumigaw ng sabay-sabay. Isang tinig tungo sa tagumpay. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina, sa school magsama-sama. Abutin ng mga pangarap, mayaman man o mahirap. Edukasyon ay para sa lahat. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina at magkakaisa. Maghawak ng kamay, sumigaw ng sabay-sabay. Isang tinig tungo sa tagumpay. Halina.
Tanggap City, simply home. Tanggap City, simply home. This is our place, Tanggap City. There is so much you can see. A paradise from nature's best. It's a beauty among the rest. Rich in culture and history, it has a colorful festivity. One people in harmony, one people in great revelry. Tanggap City is proudly celebrating milestones and beyond. A never-ending celebration, a joy for everyone. Come and join us, let's all have fun. It's a legacy that we have done. A brighter future of our city is ahead. Tanggub City is a place to be. Tanggub City is proudly celebrating milestones and beyond. A never-ending celebration, a joy for everyone. Come and join us, let's all have fun. It's the legacy that we have done. A brighter future of our city is at hand. Gearing for progress and development, people remain focused to their commitment, preserving the tradition of good values into Tanggub City, simply call our home. Tanggub City is proudly celebrating milestones and beyond. A never-ending celebration, a joy for everyone. Come and join us, let's all have fun. It's a legacy that we have done. A brighter future of our city is at hand. Brighter future, Tanggub City, simply home. Tanggub City, simply home. Tanggub City.
Why you look so sad? The tears are in your eyes. Come on and come to me now. Don't be ashamed to cry. Let me see you through. 'Cause I've seen the dark side too. When the night falls on you, you don't know what to do. Nothing you confess can make me love you less. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. So if you're mad, get mad. Don't hold it all inside. Come on and talk to me now. Hey, what you got to hide? I get angry too. Well, I'm a lot like you. When you're standing at the crossroads and don't know which path to choose, let me come along. 'Cause even if you're wrong, I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. Take me into your darkest hour, and I'll never desert you. I'll stand by you. And when the night falls on you, baby, you're feeling all alone. stand by you. I'll stand by you.
Sa Pilipino, matuto tayo mabigkas magsalita sa sariling wika, tula at kwento sa sariling bansa. Tayo na, mag-aral na tayo. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, N, ang O, P, R, S, T, Q, U, V, W, X, Y, at Z. Ha, 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 hi, 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 Sa Pilipino, matuto tayo mabigkas magsalita sa sariling wika, tula at kwento sa sariling bansa. Tayo na, mag-aral na tayo. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, yan ang O, P, R, S, T, Q, U, V, W, X, Y, at Z. Ha, 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 hi, 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 Ha, 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 hi, 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 Ha, 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 hi, hi, hi,
magagandang tanawin, masarap pasyalan, iba't ibang kulturang matututo. Masasarap na pagkain matitikman sa paglalakbay at pamamasyal sa mga magagandang lugar sa Pilipinas. Yan, tapos na ang proyekto kong panturismo. Hi! Ang ganda talagang pagmasdan ng Taal Volcano. Lalo na ang Taal Lake. Balang araw, mapupuntahan rin kita. You are on top of my bucket lists. With or without plans.
세상의 소리 질러 I love you 너 사랑한다고 나 여자가 되어달라고 눈부셔 always you're my star 내가 너 지켜줄게.
Yes? Ano yun? Leslie ng buhay ko?
Carrie, my darling! Matutuwa kasi babalita ko. Promise! May spoken word competition sa school sa susunod na linggo. Sali tayo, please!
Ay, naku! Alam mo namang mahihayin ako, Les. Kaya kong sumulat ng tula, pero yung ibahagi ko sa harap ng maraming tao, no way. No, no, no. Ayoko. Pass.
OMG! Bakit ang tagal kong nagising sa alarm? May mangrove planting pala ngayon. Naku! Walang SK chairman na late sa livelihood program ng gobyerno.
O Angela, dito pala ang punta mo. Para ba yan sa mangrove planting?
Opo, Manggusyon. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9.50. Naku, Manggusyon, pasensya talaga. Naiwan ko kasi yung isang pouch ko sa lamesa. 9.50 lang po ito. Manggusyon, bawi na lang ako sa susunod, ha?
Aba, Angge. Angela, ang bata ka. Hindi ka naman iba sa akin, ha. Huwag mo nang intindihin yun.
Ako salamat talaga, Manggusyon.
Baba ka na.
Okay, break muna tayo guys. Dahil may inihandang itlog ang Barangay Council para sa ating lahat. Angela! Oh, Rafaela.
Ate Angela,
Ano ba yun?
patulong naman po.
Ano yan?
Nahihirapan po kasi ako matandaan yung internal structure ng Earth.
Madali lang yan, Rafaela. Ang shell ng itlog ay may hahalin tulad natin sa crust. At ang puting bahagi naman ng itlog ay ang mantle. Sarap, diba? Nakikita mo to. Ang yelong bahagi naman ng itlog ay ang Earth's core or ang pinakagitna na bahagi ng Earth.
The best ka talaga, Ate Angela!
Walang anuman yun, Rafaela. Natutuwa ako dahil pinapahalagahan mo ang natatanging kayamanang may bibigay ng mga magulang mo. Sali ka pa sa susunod na linggo, ha? May mga community services pa tayong gagawin. Tutulong pa tayo sa mga livelihood programs. Naku, Rafaela, magugustuhan mo to dahil gagawa rin tayo ng basket kagaya nito at saranggola o kite. Pupuntahan rin natin ang pamayanan kung saan carving naman ang nakasanayang gawin nila kagaya nito.
Ang ganda! May bumibili pa po ba ng kite, Ate Angela?
Oo naman, may mga annual tourism kite festival sa bansa. Last year nga, nakapunta ako sa Sipalay, Negros Occidental, Dumaguete City, at Suluk, Davao del Sur, kung saan itinuro namin sa mga kabataang kagaya mo ang kahalagahan ng pangangalaga sa ating kapaligiran. Alam mo naman na lahat tayo ay apektado sa climate change. Kaya, maging parte rin tayo sa solusyon nito. Hindi ka lang bata dahil ikaw ay may kakayahang baguhin ang sarili para mas maging responsable. Kagaya ko, mas naging responsable ako simula nung sumali ako sa mga lipunang sibil na kung saan mas pinapahalagahan nila ang kabutihang panlahat kaysa sa sariling interes.
Ang tatay ko, ate, ay magsasaka. Sabi niya, ang pangunahing kabuhayan doon sa amin ay ang pagsasaka ng palay. Kahit mahirap pa noon ang irigasyon. Pero ngayon ay may sapat ng irigasyon doon sa amin.
Oh,
Till next time po, tumatawag na po kasi si nanay.
see you next week, Rafaela, at sa susunod pang linggo. Dahil may medical mission pa tayo. Disseminate information of our free dental checkup.
Sige po!
Bye!
Rafaela, anak! Natutuyo na tong mga halaman. Tama na muna yung pagbabike mo upang madiligan ito.
Opo, nay! Andyan na po! Patuloy niyong pagandahin ang tahanan namin, ha?
Anak, tikman mo muna tong appetizer na ginawa ko kung papasaba sa panlasa mo.
Alam mo na, magsusupply na ako ng hot and cold appetizer sa resto bar na pinagtatrabahuan ng Kuya Granger mo.
Ah, Nay, ano po ba trabaho ni Kuya Granger?
Sa pagkakaalam ko, isang desk control supervisor ang Kuya Granger mo. And one of his functions and rules is to listen to the special request of guests.
Ang galing naman ni Kuya, Nay. Nay, matanong ko nga lang, nilalagyan ba yun ng maraming asin ng atsara?
Katamtaman lang, anak.
Nay, parang may napapansin ako sa inyo. Bigay ni tatay ang silver na relo niya, no?
Oo nga, anak. Kung kailan nasa dapit hapon na kami ng tatay nyo,
Saka pa nakaisip ng pasurpresa. Wow! Kari, alas stress na. Halika na, magdasal na tayo. Opo. Ikaw na ang mauna. Opo. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and the Holy Spirit. You died, Jesus, as the source of life, flowed out for souls, and the ocean of mercy opened up for the whole world. O fountain of life, immeasurable divine mercy, cover the whole world and empty yourself out upon us.
Thank you for picking up the phone. I need your help, Bess. May binili kasi ako online na ibang-iba sa actual product na hawak ko ngayon. Matingkad kasi sa picture, faded naman pala. Anong gagawin ko? Saka yung brand, mali yung spelling, and yung presyo, halos katumbas lang sa original.
Pwede kang magreklamo sa seller niyan, Bess. May karapatan tayong mamimili, no? Ayon nga sa Republic Act 7394 or sa Consumer Act of the Philippines.
Salamat, Bess, ha? Pinalakas mo loob ko. Hindi na ako manghihinaya na i-confront ang seller.
Push mo yan. Mahirap ang buhay, no? As a matter of fact, many suffer from overpopulation and poverty, which resulted to high unemployment rate. Also, prioritize yung needs kesa sa wants, Bessie. Huwag mag-order kung hindi kinakailangan. And lastly, know your priorities. Ika nga nila, ang bawat butil ay ginto.
O siya, sige. Salamat uli, ha? Pag-aaralan ko pa kasi yung mga ambag ng kabihasnan sa Egypt at yung mga dinastiya sa sinoong kabihasnan ng China.
Okay, bye!
Bye! May aaminin ako sa'yo bukas. Puntahan kita dyan. Okay? Bye! Huhulaan ko. Magbibake ka, no?
Yes, may nag-order kasi sa akin.
Ang laki na siguro na nga kinikita mo sa pagiging negosyante mo, no? If I were to graph it, ganito siguro yun. For the first week, siguro 500 pesos yung kinikita mo, no? For the second week, siguro 1,000. And the third week, mga nasa 1,500 na. Habang tumatagal, papalaki talagang kita mo.
Puro kakalokohan.
Tikman mo na lang kaya to. Nahiya naman ako. Tingnan mo, sa garnishing pa lang. Pero, siguro, pagpapatuloy mo to, pagluluto mo, successful ka.
Talaga.
Oo. Pero maiba tayo, ah. I signed you up for the spoken poetry. Both of us, actually. English at Filipino ang tatanggapin nilang mga pyesa.
Ikaw na lang kayong mag-deliver sa phone ko.
May nagawa na akong tula. And, best in English ka. I know you can deliver it better. Ay, teka ha. Sasagutin ko na. Okay.
Sawadika! Hello, ate.
Sawadika! Penyang Raibang?
May nasin ako sa'yo. Nakita mo ba? Tama ba yung sagot ko, ate?
Yes, Kim. Tama yung sagot mo.
Salamat, Ate Les. Okay, last na lang pala. Perfect square ang 25, di ba?
Yes! Yesterday once more. Bye!
James goes to the rim once again, lays it up and in, and he's in double.
Those two guys are exceptionally talented. I mean, like you always say, like top five.
Back to James. James goes inside, the flush and the foul. 10 assists. The Lakers 127 away from the title. Final seconds here in this NBA season. The respect from those two.
Idol talaga si LeBron James, no?
Magaling naman talaga kasi siya. Siya nga ang laging MVP, di ba?
Talo nga yung team ko. Pero in fairness, no, mahigpit yung naging laro.
Oo nga, napansin mo ba yung simula ng laro? Di ba umalma yung coach sa desisyon ng referee?
Oo nga, no, pero in fairness sa referee, ha, nanindigan talaga siya sa kanyang desisyon. Ganyan talaga pag mahigpit ang laro.
Beautiful disaster. Broken, she was made whole. Brand new creation and afraid of the fall. Blown, she found her peace, like toast bamboo still in place. Burnt, she burst with true light, too bright like stars in twilight. Beaten by the surging waves, she dares to be brave. Perfectly imperfect, consistently inconsistent, she is both heaven and hell, history no one can tell. But like a lake in all its glory, after an explosion telling a story, she is a constant reminder beauty exists after a commotion. A dose of laughter, worthy of the here and after, my happily ever after. She is indeed a beautiful disaster.
Sa hinahangaan kong marikit na manunulat, magandang gabi sa dilag na nakabibighani ang ganda. Lubos akong natutuwa nang mapakinggan ko ang iyong makapagbagbag damdamin na tula. Sa umpisa ako'y napaisip, teka lang, sino ba ang nasa likod nitong napakahiwagang obra? Di tuloy mapigil ng puso ko ang kagustuhang ikaw ay aking makilala. Malaman ang totoong kwento sa tulang nag-uumapaw ng damdaming di ko mawari. Wow! Siguro ang iba ay nanghina na dulot ng pait at kabiguan sa buhay. Subalit ikaw ay bukod tangit tunay ngang kahanga-hanga. Sa halip na malugmok, ikaw ay nanindigan at patuloy na lumalaban. Inihalin tulad mo ang iyong sarili sa Taal Lake, isang makapigil hiningang tanawin na nabuo mula sa nakapanghingilabot na pagsabog ng bulkan. Sino nga ba ang mag-aakala? Tama ka, totoong pagkatapos ng unos ay may bagong pag-asa at ang magandang buhay ay tiyak na darating. Hay, patuloy ka sanang maging inspirasyon sa iyong mga mambabasa at tagapakinig. Hangad ko ang ating nalalapit na pagkikita. Maraming salamat sa dala mong inspirasyon, dulot ng kakaiba mong kwentong nais kong mas maintindihan pa. Lubos na humahanga, Khalid.
세상의 소리 질러 I love you 너 사랑한다고 내 여자가 되어달라고 눈부셔 always you're my star 내가 너 지켜줄게 세상의 소리 질러 I love you 너 사랑한다고 내 여자가 되어달라고 눈부셔 always
writer or speaker has to pay attention with the idea or topic that needs emphasis. One way of emphasizing is through the use of the voices of the verb. If you want to emphasize the person doing the action, then you use the active voice of the verb. But if your focus is the result of the action itself, then the passive voice of the verb is of great help. Having enough background of the active and passive voice of the verb will make you a good communicator.
Welcome, grade 7 learners! Today, you are expected to learn how to use the active and passive voice meaningfully in various contexts. For you to be guided with our lesson, let us first define the following terminologies. Voice is the term used to describe whether a verb is active or passive. Active voice means that a sentence is a subject that acts upon its verb. The formula is subject, which is the doer of the action, plus verb, plus object. Passive voice means that a subject is a recipient of a verb's action. The formula for this is subject, which is the receiver of the action, plus verb, plus object.
This time, let us play a segment of the episode Beautiful Disaster. And please observe the use of the passive and active voice of the verb.
Here are some of the lines spoken by the characters in the video. First, you face your fears. Second, a mail will be sent to you. Between the two sentences, which do you think is the active and passive?
Let us analyze each sentence one by one. The first sentence is, you face your fears. What is the subject or the one being talked about in the sentence? Correct! It is the pronoun you. Now the next question for us to determine if the subject is active is to simply ask yourself, is the subject the doer of the action? Do you think the subject does the action? Will the subject be the one who should be facing his fears? If your answer is yes, then it suffices the definition. Therefore, this sentence is in the active voice.
Now, let's proceed with the second example. A mail will be sent to you. In here, what is the subject? All right, you've got it right. The subject is a mail. Is the mail the doer of the action? Exactly. The mail is no longer the doer of the action. Is the pronoun you the doer of the action? The answer is still no, because the pronoun you actually receives the action or verb. It answers the question, to whom was the letter sent? Hence, this is in passive voice.
This time, let us have more examples. In the active sentence, Typhoon Ulysses hits Luzon. The passive construction is, Luzon is hit by Typhoon Ulysses. In the active sentence, volunteers help the victims. The passive construction is, the victims were helped by the volunteers.
Let us take a closer look on how the active and the passive sentences work.
Active sentence, Typhoon Ulysses hits Luzon. The subject, Typhoon Ulysses, performs the action described by the verb hits. It consists of the singular subject, Typhoon Ulysses, plus the present tense singular verb hits, plus the object of the verb, Luzon. Passive sentence is, Luzon is hit by Typhoon Ulysses. The subject Luzon receives the action from the verb is hit. It consists of the subject Luzon plus the present tense singular auxiliary verb is plus the past participle form of the verb hits plus preposition by plus the object of the preposition, which is Typhoon Ulysses.
In passive sentence, we use the auxiliary verb is because the subject, the zone, is singular in number. It is in the present tense because we just need to follow the number and tense of the verb in the active construction.
Notice that the object in the active voice becomes the subject in the passive voice. And the subject in the active voice becomes the object in the passive voice. Let us move on with the second set of sentences.
Active sentence. Volunteers helped the victims. The subject volunteers performed the action described by the verb helped. It consists of the subject volunteers plus the verb in the past tense helped plus the object of the verb the victims. For passive sentence, the victims were helped by the volunteers. The subject, the victims, receives the action from the verb were helped. It consists of the subject, the victims, plus the past tense singular auxiliary verb were, plus the verb in the past participle helped, plus the preposition by, plus the object of the preposition, which is the volunteers.
In the passive sentence, we use the auxiliary verb were because the subject, the victims, is plural in form. It is in the present tense because we just need to follow the number and the tense of the verb in the active construction.
Now, when do we use the active voice? Active voice is used when the doer is more important than the action. This places the emphasis on the subject of the sentence and makes the sentence more straightforward and brief. Example, I really love this dog. Active voice is also used in making commands or requests. Example, open the window. Giving instructions can be done in the active voice. Example, cut the spices in small pieces.
On the other hand, when do we use the passive voice? The passive voice is used in the following cases. When the actor is unknown. Example, the motorcycle was stolen, maybe by someone. Second, the actor is irrelevant. For instance, a COVID-19 vaccine will be discovered by researchers soon. Third, you want to be indefinite about who is responsible. For instance, mistakes were made. Fourth, you are talking about a general truth. For example, do unto others what you want others do unto you. Fifth, you want to emphasize the person or thing acted on. For example, the virus that caused COVID-19 was discovered in 2020. Lastly, you are writing an experiment or result or report. For example, the salt was dissolved in water. Using active voice often improves clarity, while passive voice can help avoid unnecessary repetition.
This time, kindly get your activity sheet in English 7 and do the instructions.
Directions. The given picture tells a lot of stories which you can relate to your own experience. Using your prior knowledge about the lesson, construct 3 sentences using active voice and transform them into passive sentence.
Let us be active in embracing the challenges of times and realize that passivity and apathy will bring us no good. Thank you for learning with us.
Continue to love, care, and share. Till then, and see you for our next episode of
Ang TANGKUB!
This has been Teacher Mahalia
and Teacher Pinky
saying have fun learning.
Bye!
Bye!
A dream is like an ignition start that drives us in the direction of our life purpose. So, always follow your dreams. Hello, grade 7 learners. I am Teacher James, and welcome to another episode of Ang TANGKUB TV-based instruction. This time, we will now process your learning in TLE Bread and Pastry Exploratory course based on the video played earlier. Let's try to look back at this scene.
Huhulaan ko. Magbibake ka, no?
Yes, may nag-order kasi sa akin.
Based on the video, Carrie is baking. And when we say baking, it means to cook by dry heat in an oven or oven-type appliances. Ovens are the workhorses of bakery and pastry shops and are essentials in producing bakery products. Ovens are enclosed spaces in which food is heated, usually by hot air. Today, we will learn how to light and operate an oven. Procedures. Step 1. Hold a lighted match or igniter safely near the burner tube of the oven. Next, at the same time, push and turn the oven knob in a counterclockwise direction towards the desired oven temperature setting. Reminders. Should the initial lighting fail, turn to its off position immediately and allow the accumulated to be dispersed before re-ignition. Always care the oven door gently. Letting the door to slam may affect the rise of the cake being baked. There you have it. That is how you light and operate an oven. This time, please get your activity sheet in TLE Bread and Pastry Exploratory course and answer the given questions. Until then, continue learning and hashtag Shine TANGKUB Stars.
Inihahandog ng Dibisyon ng TANGKUB City ang iba't ibang kwento, aral at kaalaman habang kayo ay nasa inyong mga tahanan. TV-based instruction.
Priscilla Shire once said, "Unity does not mean sameness. It means oneness of purpose." Truly, the most convincing and powerful ideas in the world, expressed in the most beautifully adorned sentences, will move no one unless those ideas are properly organized and connected. Unless readers can move from one ideas to another, they would find other better things to do.
Hello, grade 8 learners! Welcome to the 7th episode of Ang TANGKUB, to learn another meaningful lesson in English. We hope that you are pretty much excited as we do. This time, we will be learning how to identify and use signals that indicate coherence. Let us define some terms to serve as pillars for your understanding of this lesson later on. In writing, coherence is the logical bridge between words, sentences, and paragraphs. Coherent writing uses transitional markers or cohesive devices.
Transitional markers or cohesive devices are as simple as a word, like the conjunctions familiarized as fanboys. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. To more complex signals that are somewhat connected, the conjunctive adverbs and expressions like however, moreover, nevertheless, on the other hand. Now, let us play back a segment of the episode Beautiful Disaster and be observant of the words or signals that indicate coherence.
Thank you for picking up the phone. I need your help, Bess. May binili kasi ako online na ibang-iba sa actual product na hawak ko ngayon. Matingkad kasi sa picture, faded naman pala. Anong gagawin ko? Saka yung brand, mali yung spelling, and yung presyo, halos katumbas lang sa original.
Pwede kang magreklamo sa seller niyan, Bess. May karapatan tayong mamimili, no? Ayon nga sa Republic Act 7394 or sa Consumer Act of the Philippines.
Salamat, Bess, ha? Pinalakas mo loob ko. Hindi na ako manghihinaya na i-confront ang seller.
Push mo yan. Mahirap ang buhay, no? As a matter of fact, many suffer from overpopulation and poverty, which resulted to high unemployment rate. Also, prioritize yung needs kesa sa wants, Bessie. Huwag mag-order kung hindi kinakailangan. And lastly, know your priorities. Ika nga nila, ang bawat butil ay ginto.
O siya, sige. Salamat uli, ha? Pag-aaralan ko pa kasi yung mga ambag ng kabihasnan sa Egypt at yung mga dinastiya sa sinoong kabihasnan ng China.
Okay, bye!
Bye! May aaminin ako sa iyo bukas. Puntahan kita dyan. Okay? Bye!
In the scene, Carrie mentions specific transitional devices. Can you tell what are those? There are actually 4 all in all. These are, as a matter of fact, moreover, also, and lastly. Let us take a look at the paragraph and you can read it with me. Push it for life is hard. As a matter of fact, many suffer from overpopulation and poverty, which resulted to high unemployment rate. Also, prioritize your needs over wants, Bessie. Moreover, don't order something which are no longer necessary. Lastly, know your priorities. Every peso counts.
Now, the first transitional marker that we identified a while ago is, as a matter of fact. How do you think does this function in the paragraph? Exactly, it emphasized the first idea. It also adds more support to the first idea presented by the speaker. The same was true with the succeeding transitional markers we identified, such as moreover, also, and lastly. Transitional markers are actually grouped according to their function in the paragraph. Take a look at these groupings.
For addition, again, also, and then, besides, equally important, finally, first, further, furthermore, in addition, in the first place, last, moreover, next, second, still, and to.
Comparison. Also, in the same way, likewise, similarly.
For concession, granted, naturally, and of course.
Contrast. Although, and yet, at the same time, but at the same time, despite that, even so, even though, for all that, however, in contrast, in spite of, instead, nevertheless, notwithstanding, on the contrary, on the other hand, otherwise, regardless, still, though, and yet.
For emphasis, certainly, indeed, in fact, of course.
For example or illustration, after all, as an illustration, even, for example, for instance, in conclusion, indeed, in fact, in other words, in short, it is true, of course, namely, specifically, that is, to illustrate, thus, and truly.
For summary, all in all, altogether, as has been said, finally, in brief, in conclusion, in other words, in particular, in short, in simple terms, in summary, on the whole, that is, therefore, to put it differently, to summarize.
And for time sequence, after a while, afterward, again, also, and then, as long as, at last, at length, at that time, before, besides, earlier, eventually, finally, formerly, further, furthermore, in addition, in the first place, in the past, last, lately, meanwhile, moreover, next, now, presently, presently, second, shortly, simultaneously, since, so far, soon, still, subsequently, then, thereafter, to, until now, and when.
For you to remember the transitional markers easily, just think of the situation. When traffic situations are complex, good drivers use turn signals to let other drivers know their intention. Similarly, when we write, relationships are somehow complex. And as a good writer, it is our task to help our readers follow without feeling puzzled.
So grade 8 learners, are you now ready to show us what you have got in this lesson? Do get your activity sheet in English and read the instructions.
Directions: use your knowledge in transitional markers or cohesive devices to improve the recipe on how to make a banana pizza by adding necessary signals to indicate cohesion on the blanks. Use transitional markers appropriately. Hope you have learned from today's lesson. This has been Teacher Mahalia
and Teacher Pinky
saying, continue to love, care, and share. Still here in your one and only educational program, Ang TANGKUB. Stay tuned for a TLE lesson is coming next. Goodbye!
Success isn't measured by money or power or social rank. Success is measured by your discipline and your inner peace. Hello, grade 8 learners. I am Teacher James and welcome to another episode of Ang TANGKUB TV-based instruction. At this point, we are now to process your learning in TLE Bread and Pastry Exploratory course based on the video played earlier. Let's try to look back at this scene.
Huhulaan ko. Magbibake ka, no?
Yes, may nag-order kasi sa akin.
Based on the video, Carrie is baking. And when we say baking, measuring properly of ingredients is highly important. Here's the proper way of measuring baking ingredients. Flour. Sift the flour. Scoop to fill the measuring cup to overflow. Do not shake. Level off with spatula. Sugar. White sugar. Sifting is not necessary before measuring unless it is lumpy. Fill the measuring cup until overflowing. Do not shake the cup. Level off with the spatula. Brown sugar. Check if the sugar is lumpy before measuring. Roll out the lumps. Remove the dirt. Scoop into the measuring cup and pack compactly until it follows the shape when inverted. Measuring powdered food such as baking powder and baking soda. Remove the lumps in the powder by stirring. Dip the measuring spoon into the powder. And lastly, level with spatula or back edge of the knife or right in the can opening. Measuring shortenings. Solid fats. Fill the measuring cup or spoon with the shortening while pressing until it is full. Level the fat with the straight of a knife or spatula. Liquid fats. Pour oil in the glass measuring cup. Check if it is filled up to the measuring mark. Do not lift the cup when measuring. Measuring liquid form milk. Pour milk into the glass measuring cup up to the measuring mark. Do not lift the cup. Measuring powdered milk. Remove lumps in milk by stirring. Scoop lightly to fill the measuring cup or spoon without shaking until it overflows. Use the spatula or the straight edge of the knife to level the measurement. Those are the proper steps in measuring baking ingredients. At this point, please get your activity sheet in TLE Bread and Pastry Exploratory course and answer the given questions. Until then, continue learning and hashtag Shine TANGKUB Stars.
Inihahandog ng Dibisyon ng TANGKUB City ang iba't ibang kwento, aral, at kaalaman habang kayo ay nasa inyong mga tahanan. TV-based instruction.
Speech styles are patterns characterized by distinctive pronunciation, vocabulary, intent, participants, and grammatical structures.
According to Martin Jus, speech styles are concerned with the form of language which the speaker uses and are characterized by the degree of formality of the discourse. Hello, grade 9 learners! Today, let us learn to employ another type of speech style in appropriate or various situations. This is the frozen communicative style. Perhaps You're quite curious why this type of communicative style is called as frozen.
As the word implies, it is frozen in time and remains unchanged. Frozen speech style is used in formal settings. It is the most formal style of communication wherein the audience is not allowed to raise questions to the speaker. It is a style of communication that almost never changes. It has a fixed and static language and uses long sentences with good command of grammar.
This time, let us play a particular part of the episode and be attentive of how the characters apply the frozen communicative style as part of their conversation.
Kari, alas stress na! Halika na! Magdasal na tayo! Opo! Ikaw na ang mauna. Opo. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
You died, Jesus, as the source of life flowed out for souls, and the ocean of mercy opened up for the whole world. O fountain of life, immeasurable divine mercy, cover the whole world and empty yourself out upon us.
Now, what particular situation was shown in the video? You are right. It was all about the daily practice of the family, which is the 3 o'clock habit.
Did you notice how the characters applied the frozen communicative style while offering the 3 o'clock prayer? If yes, great job! But if not, don't worry, because we are here to make this lesson clear and easy for you.
Now, there are manifestations that the character named Carrie applied the frozen communicative style while saying the prayer. Some of these are: the setting was formal and solemn, only one-way communication was applied, and asking or raising questions was not evident. Aside from that, the words used in the memorized prayer follow the pattern that cannot be changed, and it is a strong piece filled with emotions.
This time, let us consider another example of frozen communicative style, and that is the Pledge of Allegiance to the Philippine flag. Let us recite this all together. Pledge of Allegiance to the Philippine flag. I am a Filipino, faithfully pledging my allegiance to the flag of the Philippines and to the country it represents, with honor, justice, and freedoms set into motion by a nation for love of God, people, nature, and country. The Pledge of Allegiance to the Philippine flag is an appropriate example of frozen speech style because of its fixed speech, because the use of language is permanent and relatively static. It is used generally in very formal setting, like flag ceremonies in schools and offices. Moreover, it does not require feedback from the audience. Good command of grammar and language is also applied. Some characteristics of frozen style are the following. First, it is highly formal style for respectful situations. Second, it uses the complex grammatical sentence structure and vocabulary known only to experts in a particular field. Third, it uses long sentences with good grammar and vocabulary. Fourth, language used is fixed and relatively static that almost never change. Fifth, it does not require any feedback from the audience. And lastly, strong speech filled with emotion that the reader may involve his personal experience.
Here are other examples of frozen communicative style. The preamble of the Constitution, school creeds, marriage ceremonies, national pledge, national anthem, speech for a state ceremony, motto, judicial sentencing, contracts, wills, and many more.
Now that you already know when to apply the frozen communicative speech style, feel confident to do the task. Kindly get your activity sheet in English 9, and read the instructions. Directions. Applying the frozen communicative style, compose a one-paragraph advocacy speech with 3 to 5 sentences about a particular environmental issue in our country. Examples: overfishing, deforestation, water pollution, population growth, waste production, and etc. Be guided with the given criteria. Content and development, 3 points. Organization, 3 points. Word choice, 2 points. Writing mechanics, 2 points. A total of 10 points.
The purpose of the different types of speech is to help us to know the specific approach we should use in every situation, person, and place. Knowing these things can help us to prevent misunderstanding and arguments from happening, for we would be more careful with our day-to-day communication with others.
Thank you for being with us, grade 9 learners. Just continue to love, care, and share. Till then, and see you for another episode in Ang Tangkub! This has been Teacher Mahalia
and Teacher Pinky
saying, have fun learning!
Bye!
One cannot think well, love well, and sleep well if one has not dined well. Hello, grade 9 learners. I am Teacher James, and welcome to another episode of Ang Tangkub TV-based instruction. At this point, we will now process your learning in TLE Cookery 9 based on the video played earlier. Let's try to look back at this scene.
Anak, tikman mo muna tong appetizer na ginawa ko kung papasa ba sa panlasa mo. Alam mo na, magsusupply na ako ng hot and cold appetizer sa resto bar na pinagtatrabahuan ng Kuya Granger mo. Ah, Nay, ano po bang trabaho ni Kuya Granger? Sa pagkakaalam ko, isang desk control supervisor ang Kuya Granger mo. And one of his functions and rules is to listen to the special request of guests.
Ang galing naman ni Kuya, Nay. Nay, matanong ko nga lang, nilalagyan ba yun ng maraming asin ng atsara?
Katamtaman lang, anak.
Based on the video, Mrs. Silvana told Rafaela that she will be supplying hot and cold appetizers at the restaurant that Granger is working. As a review, appetizer is part of a meal that is served before the main course. Usually, an appetizer is a small serving of food, just a few bites, meant to be eaten before an entree. You can also call an appetizer as hors d'oeuvre. Today, learners, we will learn the difference between hot and cold appetizers. The literal difference between hot and cold appetizers are their temperature. Cold appetizers are served in low temperatures, while hot appetizers are literally served in high temperatures. Hors d'oeuvres is often served preceding a meal. They are served as the food at cocktail parties involving alcoholic beverages. Hot hors d'oeuvres. These are served between the soup and fish course. In today's shortened menus, they are often served instead of hot entree. The size and richness depend upon the composition of menu. Many hot hors d'oeuvres are suited for serving as small a la carte dishes and usually described as hot dish. Hot appetizers are most of the time soup-based, made from bread, fried meats, and other sizzling foods. On the other hand, cold hors d'oeuvres should stimulate appetite and therefore should always be served at the first course and the menu. There are 5 types of cold hors d'oeuvres and they are served as follows: plate hors d'oeuvres, grison platter, hors d'oeuvres platter, assorted hors d'oeuvres, and rich hors d'oeuvres. Plate of hors d'oeuvres. Plate of hors d'oeuvres may consist of shrimps, smoked beef, poached egg, Spanish sardines, and lettuce. Sauce can be served at the side. Grison platter may consist of two kinds of cold meat, such as ham, smoked beef, peppered ham. Sauce can be served at the side. Hors d'oeuvres platter, a well-presented platter with a limited choice of simple or more expensive foods. The basic rule is small quantity but big in quality, and at the same time attractively served. It may consist of shrimps with jelly, asparagus tipped with mushrooms, sardines with onion rings, tomatoes stuffed with salad and chicken loaf. Assorted hors d'oeuvres can be served in special portion platters with dishes or even from a serving cart. Rich hors d'oeuvres, still a classical form of presentation. Lobster should always be included. The hors d'oeuvres dish system in conjunction with a silver platter can be used, but it is also possible to arrange the centerpieces on a silver platter covered with meat jelly and served with accompaniments in a small separate bowls or container. Those are the difference between hot and cold appetizers. This time, please get your activity sheet in PLE Cookery 9 and answer the following questions. Until then, continue learning and hashtag Shine TANGKUB Stars.
Inihahandog ng Dibisyon ng TANGKUB City ang iba't ibang kwento, aral, at kaalaman habang kayo ay nasa inyong mga tahanan. TV-based instruction.
John Ford once said, "You can speak well if your tongue can deliver the message of your heart." What's up, grade 10 learners? Are you now excited for another meaningful lesson to learn? We are now on the 7th episode here in Ang TANGKUB.
Speaking is the most common form of communication. When we speak, it's not just the actual words we say that convey meaning and make other people get our point across. There is a message that goes far beyond our words.
This time, let us learn how to evaluate spoken text using given criteria such as fluency, tone, and cohesion. Before going further, let us have a common understanding of these important terms. Spoken language is language that is spoken versus language that's written or expressed non-verbally. Spoken language involves the actual use of speech or related utterances that convey meaning to share thoughts or other information. Spoken text include oral stories, interviews, dialogues, monologues, phone conversations, discussions, role plays, and many more.
Fluency refers to the ability to talk without pauses, without repeating things, and without getting stuck and confused.
Tone is not what you say, but how you say it. This encompasses not only the words you choose, but their order, rhythm, and pace.
Cohesion refers to how words are connected to each other. It is important to be able to get your point across clearly.
Now, for you to have a better understanding of spoken text or language, let us play back this portion of the episode, Beautiful Disaster.
Beautiful disaster. Broken, she was made whole. Brand new creation and afraid of the fall. Blown, she found her peace, like toast bamboo still in place. Burnt, she burst with true light, too bright like stars in twilight. Beaten by the surging waves, she dares to be brave. Perfectly imperfect, consistently inconsistent, she is both heaven and hell, mystery no one can tell. But like a lake in all its glory, after an explosion telling a story, she is a constant reminder beauty exists after a commotion. A dose of laughter, worthy of the here and after, my happily ever after. She is indeed a beautiful disaster.
The video you had watched earlier is just one of the many examples of spoken texts. It is an example of spoken poetry, to be exact. Spoken poetry is really intended for performance rather than written or read. Spoken word can encompass or contain elements of rap, hip-hop, storytelling, theater, jazz, rock, blues, and folk music. It is characterized by rhyme, repetition, improvisation, and wordplay.
The piece delivered by Carrie was surely evaluated by a set of judges because it was mentioned in the episode that she unintentionally joined a competition because of her friend Leslie, who signed her in. Let us play pretend that you were one of the judges in that competition and that you will be evaluating Carrie's performance against this criteria, given that the theme is on resilience and strength. Message or content 50%. The content of the spoken piece is relevant and related to the theme. The piece has a powerful and meaningful message to the audience. Delivery and performance 50%. The spoken piece is delivered from the heart. Connection to the audience was established from the start. Facial expression, hand and body gestures emphasize the different elements of the performance. Eye contact pulled the audience to the message of the spoken words. Audience attention and interest were captured and sustained throughout the delivery. Enunciation is clear. Audience can understand what is being spoken. Words are pronounced distinctly and correctly. The speaker does not stutter or stammer.
Now, if you have checked all the description in each of the criterion, then the contestant Carrie will have 100%. If it happens that there are some descriptors that are missing, then you may deduct points against the total points possible for that specific criterion.
It is easy to evaluate spoken text if there are a set of criteria or rubric given, because you will just assess whether the criteria or rubric were followed. In the case of Carrie actually performed the spoken text well enough, and that most descriptors from the criteria can be ticked or marked check.
Do you already have an idea how to evaluate spoken text based on the given criteria? Surely you do. Hence, get your activity sheet in English 10 and do the instructions.
Directions. Using the criteria below, evaluate the spoken poetry delivered in the play Beautiful Disaster. If you think Carrie is fluent enough, a rating of 4 or excellent shall be placed on the last column. Do the same on the succeeding criterion. Be sure to read the descriptors before giving points for you to be an excellent evaluator. You can do it. The ability to evaluate is important because what gets measured yield good results.
It is through evaluation that value exists. And without a good evaluation, the core of our existence is meaningless.
So the next time you're asked to evaluate, do remember that you can make it soundly. Up next is another TLE lesson for you. This has been Mama Halia
and Mom Pinky
saying continue to love, care, and share. Still here in your one and only educational TV program,
Ang Tangkub! Goodbye!
Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love, according to Mother Teresa. Hello, grade 10 learners! I am Teacher James, and welcome to another episode of Ang Tangkub TV-based instruction. At this time, we will now process your learning in TLE Housekeeping 10 based on the video played earlier. Let's try to look back at this scene.
Nak, tikman mo muna tong appetizer na ginawa ko kung papasaba sa panlasa mo. Alam mo na, magsusupply na ako ng hot and cold appetizer sa resto bar na pinagtatrabahuan ng Kuya Granger mo. Ah, Nay, ano po bang trabaho ni Kuya Granger? Sa pagkakaalam ko, isang desk control supervisor ang Kuya Granger mo. And one of his functions and rules is to listen to the special request of guests. Ang galing naman ni Kuya, Nay. Nay, matanong ko nga lang, nilalagyan ba yun ng maraming asin ng atsara? Katamtaman lang, anak.
Based on the scene, Mrs. Silvana mentioned that Granger is working in a hotel. Today, we will learn the different housekeeping personnel in a hotel. The duties and responsibilities of personnel in the housekeeping department of a hotel differ from each other. But there is one common denominator in all of their functions, and that is ensuring guest safety, security, and satisfaction. We all know that no hotel can exist without the patronage of its guests. And it is also true that the only reason for the existence of the staff is to provide service to their customers' satisfaction. Thus, all personnel in the housekeeping department of a hotel must not only assemble as a team, but must work as a coordinated group of people working together for a common goal, and that is to create a satisfied guest. Here is an example of a housekeeping organizational chart of a small hotel. Organizational chart is a schematic depiction of relationships of jobs. The executive housekeeper. The executive housekeeper is the head of the housekeeping department and serves several responsibilities that include managing the housekeeping team, translating all hotel policies, procedures, and standards into housekeeping operations, serving as the representative of the department during top management meetings, and ensuring all resources are effectively utilized. Assistant housekeeper. Since hotel provides 24-hour service, an assistant housekeeper is the head of a given shift and is responsible in managing the resources provided by the executive housekeeper to achieve its goal of cleanliness, maintenance, and attractiveness of the hotel. Floor supervisors. are responsible in checking the cleanliness and maintenance of guest rooms on allotted floors for quality assurance. They are responsible in controlling the housekeeping personnel, which compose of room attendants and housemen. They are also responsible in controlling the materials assets of the floor, such as bed and bath linen, guest room amenities, cleaning equipment, and detergents. Control Desk Supervisor is considered as the main communication center of the housekeeping department. A control desk supervisor has a very important role to play. That is, to ensure the communication of the housekeeping personnel is coordinated to all staff of the hotel. The major responsibility of a control desk supervisor is to coordinate with the maintenance department to make sure that all maintenance requests are attended to and done. Public Area Supervisor is responsible for ensuring that public area attendants or housemen are doing their job in maintaining the cleanliness, orderliness, and upkeep of the aesthetic image of all public areas in a hotel, such as lobby, hallways, banquet space, and public restrooms. Linen Room Supervisor is responsible in coordinating the exchange of soiled linen for clean ones. He or she is also custodian of all linens used and the one responsible for the maintenance and proper storage of linens to minimize loss. The Linen Room Supervisor is tasked to coordinate closely with the Laundry Supervisor for the supply of clean linens. Laundry Supervisor is responsible for ensuring that laundry attendants are doing their job, and that is washing, drying, folding, and pressing items properly. Uniform Room Supervisor. The major responsibilities of a uniform room supervisor include keeping all uniforms in safe conditions and to issue laundered uniforms to hotel staff. Room attendants, also called as chambermaids since mostly women are employed for the job. They are the ones who are responsible for the cleaning and maintenance of assigned guest rooms. They serve as the eyes and ears of the security team to report any untoward incidents. Room attendants also make sure that the privacy of all their guests are not invaded. Laundry and linen room attendants are responsible for laundering linens, towels, napkins, aprons, uniforms, and any other items. Tailor or upholsters. Tailor is employed on-site to mend uniforms, linens, and upholstery, or repurpose ripped linens into aprons and rugs. Those are the different housekeeping personnel in a small hotel. Now, let us try to check your learning. Please get your activity sheet in PLE Housekeeping 10 and answer the given questions. Until then, continue learning and hashtag Shine TANGKUB Stars.
Edukasyon ay para sa lahat. Halina ako, tayong lahat ay magtutulungan. Ihanda na ang pisara, upuan at mga mesa. Ang pag-aaral ay simulan na. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina, sa school magsama-sama. Abutin ang mga pangarap, mayaman man o mahirap. Edukasyon ay para sa lahat. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina, at magkakaisa. Maghawak ng kamay, sumigaw ng sabay-sabay. Isang tinig tungo sa tagumpay. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina, sa school magsama-sama. Abutin ang mga pangarap, mayaman man o mahirap. Edukasyon ay para sa lahat. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina, at magkakaisa. Maghawak ng kamay, sumigaw ng sabay-sabay. Isang tinig tungo sa tagumpay.
Why you look so sad? The tears are in your eyes. Come on and come to me now. Don't be ashamed to cry. Let me see you through. 'Cause I've seen the dark side too. When the night falls on you, you don't know what to do. Nothing you confess can make me love you less. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. So if you're mad, get mad. Don't hold it all inside. Come on and talk to me now. Hey, what you got to hide? I get angry too. Well, I'm a lot like you. When you're standing at the crossroads, don't know which path to choose. Let me come along. 'Cause even if you're wrong, I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. Take me into your darkest hour, and I'll never desert you. I'll stand by you. And when the night falls on you, baby, you're feeling all alone. You won't be on your own. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. Take me into your darkest hour, and I'll never desert you. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you.
Tangkub City, there is so much you can see. A paradise from nature's best, it's a beauty among the rest. Rich in culture and history, it has a colorful festivity. One people in harmony, one people in great revelry. Tangkub City is proudly celebrating milestones and beyond. A never-ending celebration, a joy for everyone. Come and join us, let's all have fun. It's a legacy that we have done. A brighter future of our city is at hand. Tangkub City is simply home. 25 years of cultural fame, endless beauty in silver years. Magical symbols every Christmas, people dance in all festivals. Golden years of prosperity, we are proud of this great city. One people, one destiny. Tangkub City is a place to be. Tangkub City is proudly celebrating milestones and beyond. A never-ending celebration, a joy for everyone. Come and join us, let's all have fun. It's a legacy that we have done. A brighter future of our city is at hand. Gearing for progress and development, people remain focused to their commitment. Preserving the tradition of good values into Tangkub City, simply call our home. Tangkub City is proudly celebrating milestones and beyond. A never-ending celebration, a joy for everyone. Come and join us, let's all have fun. It's a legacy that we have done. A brighter future of our city is at hand. Brighter future, Tangkub City, simply home. Tangkub City, simply home. Tangkub City.
Kahit maraming problema, chill ka lang, don't stop sa pag-eskwela. Kabataan, pag-asa ng ating bayan. Ikaw, ako, tayong lahat ay magtutulungan. Ihanda na ang pisara, upuan at mga mesa. Ang pag-aaral ay simulan na. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina, sa school magsama-sama. Abutin ang mga pangarap, mayaman man o mahirap. Edukasyon ay para sa lahat. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina at magkakaisa. Maghawak ng kamay, sumigaw ng sabay-sabay. Isang tinig tungo sa tagumpay.
Kahit maraming problema, chill ka lang, don't stop sa pag-eskwela. Kabataan, pag-asa ng ating bayan. Ikaw, ako, tayong lahat ay magtutulungan. Ihanda na ang pisara, upuan at mga mesa. Ang pag-aaral ay simulan na. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina, sa school magsama-sama. Abutin ng mga pangarap, mayaman man o mahirap. Edukasyon ay para sa lahat. Halina, balik eskwela na. Halina at magkakaisa, maghawak ng kamay, sumigaw ng sabay-sabay, isang tinig tungo sa tagumpay. Halina, balik eskwela na, halina sa school magsama-sama, abutin ng mga pangarap, mayaman man o mahirap, edukasyon ay para sa lahat. Halina, balik eskwela na, halina at magkakaisa, maghawak ng kamay, sumigaw ng sabay-sabay, isang tinig tungo sa tagumpay. Halina.
We hope that you have learned the most essential lessons you need to master. See you on our next episodes. This has been Ang Tangkub.
It's Tangkub, Tangkub, Tangkub time. We learn all things, it's very fun, masaya. Tutok na.
Kung gusto mong maglingaw-lingaw, mga tawag magloling hayaw, mag-joyride na. Uba na ang imong barkada, silingan o pamilya, mag-joyride na. Sinating untang palibot, mga lugar sulod sa tanggob, mag-ubanta. Silang gato makilaw, sa sanabog sa pulaw, laagunta. Labi na yun sa huyuhoy, ugnaw dapit daghanong kahoy, talan na. Maglibot tango, maglibot tango kita, maglipay-lipay, magsakay-sakay kala, maghihiusa, maghihigala. Let's get together, make life feel better. Kung gusto ka og entertainment, for fun and for enjoyment, no problem ka. Sinanduloy among pambato, kumusayo smart kaayo, believe jud ka. Panahon sad sa Disyembre, super gid ka aligre, malingaw gid ka. Fireworks display daghang ganahan, musidlak sa kalangitan, mapawag gid ka. Christmas symbols, capital of the Philippines, ninira na ninyo makita friends, diba? Diri sa tanggop, maglibot tanggop kita, maglipay-lipay, magsakay-sakay tala, maghihiusa, maghihigala. Let's get together, make life feel better. Makita friends, diba? Hapit sa tanggop, maglibot tanggop kita, maglipay-lipay, magsakay-sakay tala, maglibot tanggop, maglibot tanggop kita, Maglibot tanggap, maglibot tanggap tayo. Maglibot tanggap, maglibot tanggap tayo. Makikiusap, makikigala. Let's get together, make life feel better.
Tayo na. Buksan ang mga radyo, lina at matuto sa mga aral sa mundo. Tayo na. Umutok na sa TV, mag-aral ng maigi to get the lessons easily. It's tangkub, tangkub, tangkub time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkub, tangkub, tangkub time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. Tayo na. Let's come and learn together, supporting one another. We love, we care, we share. It's tangkub, tangkub, tangkub time. We learn all things, it's very fine, masaya. Tutok na. It's tangkub, tangkub,